Willie Nelson's life never followed a straight path, yet looking back, it seems as if every twist and turn had a purpose. Born on April 29, 1933 in Abbott, Texas, during the depths of the Great Depression, Willie's early years were shaped by hardship. His parents were absent, leaving him and his sister Bobby in the care of their grandparents, Nancy and Alfred Nelson. Though the Nelson household had little to offer materially, it was rich in love, discipline, and music. From a young age, Willie learned that life could be unpredictable and challenging, but with guidance and support, one could find a way forward. These early experiences gave him a resilience that would carry him through personal struggles and professional challenges, and planted the seeds for a life where music and perseverance became inseparable, guiding him toward the path he was destined to follow. Music as a lifeline. Music became Willie's sanctuary from the very start. At just 6 years old, a small guitar gifted by his grandfather became his most treasured possession. By 7, he was writing songs and performing wherever possible, using his music not only to entertain but to help his family survive. The household's hardships, cold winters, empty cupboards, and long days of work were softened by the solace music offered. Songs gave him a voice, a way to express what words alone could not. Performing locally and on radio stations, he began learning the power of connection through song. Music offered structure, purpose, and hope in a life marked by scarcity. It became clear that music was more than just a talent. It was a means to process life, to find joy amid struggle, and to craft a future that was entirely his own, one note at a time. Faith, curiosity, and the outlaw spirit raised in a deeply religious environment, Willie learned gospel music in his church choir every Sunday, developing harmonies and discipline early on. Yet beyond the church walls, he felt drawn to other forms of music, like the lively sounds of Bob Wills and Western swing, which his grandparents might not have approved of. This tension between faith and curiosity nurtured a quiet, rebellious streak in him, laying the foundation for what would later define his outlaw persona. Willie learned early that rules could guide you, but they shouldn't define you entirely. Music became a space for experimentation and self-expression, where he could honor his roots while exploring a world that felt freer and more authentic. That balance of discipline and curiosity shaped his identity, teaching him that true artistry comes from listening to the heart as much as to tradition. Early loss and responsibility. Willie's childhood was also marked by profound loss. When his grandfather Alfred, who had taught him music and resilience, passed away from pneumonia, Willie's world shifted dramatically. He had to take on responsibilities far beyond his years, working long hours on the farm and helping keep the household running. These experiences taught him the importance of self-reliance and persistence. Instead of breaking him, this early hardship strengthened his resolve and fostered independence. The lessons of grief, work, and survival became woven into his character, shaping both the man and the artist he would become. Life's unpredictability demanded that he adapt, persevere, and find meaning in small victories, an approach that would guide him through future challenges in both music and life. Searching for purpose after high school, Willie briefly joined the U.S. Air Force, hoping to find direction and stability. However, a back injury cut this path short, sending him back into uncertainty. Music became both a fallback and a calling, a way to navigate a world without guarantees. He worked radio jobs, recorded songs independently, and sold records directly to listeners, learning early that talent alone wasn't enough. Persistence was what made the difference. Each setback taught him a vital lesson about resilience, patience, and the value of hard work. These formative years instilled in Willie an understanding that life might not hand you what you want, but your dedication could create opportunities even when the odds seemed stacked against you. Music was no longer just a passion. It was a lifeline, a roadmap, and a way to stake his claim in a world that rarely made room for dreamers. Nashville Dreams and Lessons. Willie's arrival in Nashville in the late 1950s and early 1960s was filled with hope and ambition, though success did not come quickly. Sleeping in his car and struggling to make ends meet, he wrote songs that would later become classics, only to see others reap commercial success from his words. This period taught him lessons about the music industry, about ownership, exploitation, and the limits of fame. While it could have been discouraging, Willie remained committed to his craft. The experience reinforced a crucial principle, that the integrity of his art mattered more than immediate recognition. Through these challenges, he developed patience, resilience, and a deeper understanding of what it meant to be an artist. Each disappointment, while painful, became a stepping stone toward the authentic career he would eventually build. Returning home and honing his craft. Back in Texas, Willie found a rough and vibrant world in honky-tonks, bars, and local venues. These spaces demanded toughness, quick thinking, and presence, and they sharpened his instincts as a performer. Here, music became not just art, but a way to survive and thrive, teaching him lessons in connection, improvisation, and audience engagement. Playing for diverse audiences, from working-class patrons to wandering musicians, helped him refine his voice and stage presence. These years also reinforced the value of staying true to oneself. By navigating the chaotic, often unpredictable environment of Texas bars, Willie learned that authenticity resonated more deeply than polish. The honky-tonk stage became his classroom, and each night, every note and lyric further shaped the artist who would later redefine country music, choosing authenticity over security. Even as his songs gained recognition, Willie resisted being molded by industry expectations. Record labels sought to polish him into a marketable image, but he prioritized authenticity over security, often choosing financial instability over compromise. This period of uncertainty was both challenging and liberating, setting the stage for his eventual reinvention. By embracing the freedom to create music on his own terms, he discovered his unique voice and solidified his reputation as an artist who could not be boxed in. This courage to prioritize integrity over comfort would become a defining feature of his career and life philosophy, demonstrating that personal truth often outweighs conventional success. Austin and the Outlaw Rebirth. In the early 1970s, Willie Nelson returned to Texas at a moment when he needed both freedom and renewal. Austin's music scene welcomed him with open arms, a lively collision of cultures where hippies, cowboys, and musicians of every stripe mingled on the same stages. The city's openness allowed Willie to experiment with sound, lyrics, and performance without worrying about fitting into Nashville's strict expectations. It was in this environment that albums like Shotgun Willie and Red-Headed Stranger took shape, works that were raw, honest, and profoundly personal. The freedom of Austin gave Willie a sense of belonging he had never experienced before, allowing him to express both vulnerability and defiance. Here, in a city that valued authenticity above polish, Willie rediscovered his voice, laying the foundation for the outlaw movement, a musical rebellion built on individuality, courage, and creative honesty. Austin was no longer just a city, it was a home, a laboratory, and a sanctuary. Success on his own terms. Red-Headed Stranger did more than succeed. It changed everything. The album's quiet revolution demonstrated that audiences were hungry for authenticity, not conformity. By trusting his instincts and creating music that reflected his own life and vision, Willie showed that artistic integrity could triumph over commercial expectations. This success wasn't about winning charts alone. It was about proving that being true to oneself resonated deeply with listeners. artists everywhere saw that they didn't have to compromise their creativity to achieve recognition, and the outlaw movement became a blueprint for freedom in country music. For Willie, this period reinforced a lifelong lesson. True triumph is rooted in self-expression and courage. Choosing authenticity over safety allowed him to define not only his own career, but also the future of an entire genre, proving that sometimes the boldest path is the one others are too afraid to take. Brotherhood along the highway. Throughout his career, Willie found enduring bonds with musicians who shared his values, notably Waylon Jennings, Johnny Cash, and Kris Kristofferson. These friendships transcended professional collaboration. They were grounded in shared struggles, artistic integrity, and mutual respect. Together, they formed the Highwaymen, a group that prioritized creative freedom over image, performance over appearances, and trust over competition. For Willie, these relationships provided more than camaraderie. They were lifelines during moments of doubt, loss, or uncertainty. Touring, recording, and writing alongside such companions reinforced the importance of surrounding oneself with people who understand both the challenges and joys of the path you're on. The Highwaymen weren't just collaborators, they were brothers in every sense, exemplifying the power of shared vision, loyalty, and support in shaping not only music, but the people who create it. Challenges and resilience. With fame came scrutiny and obstacles that tested Willie like never before. Legal disputes, financial setbacks, and public attention could have easily ended his career, but he approached each challenge with ingenuity and courage. A notable example was his devastating tax crisis, which stripped him of nearly all of his possessions. Instead of succumbing to despair, Willie found ways to rebuild, drawing on both resourcefulness and community support. Each obstacle became a lesson in patience, persistence, and self-reliance. He proved that adversity, rather than breaking a person, can strengthen character and spark creativity. These experiences not only fortified him but also inspired others, demonstrating that setbacks are temporary and perseverance defines long-term success. Willie's ability to confront difficulty head-on became a defining feature of his life, showing that resilience is both a skill and a mindset, one cultivated over years of living fully, boldly, and unapologetically, personal growth and love. Even as Willie navigated public trials, he faced private heartbreaks that shaped his character and worldview. The loss of his son and the end of earlier marriages forced him to confront grief, mistakes, and patterns he needed to change. These experiences cultivated a deeper understanding of relationships, responsibility, and the importance of emotional presence. Meeting Annie D'Angelo marked a turning point. She became not just a partner, but a grounding force, offering love, guidance, and unwavering support. Together, they nurtured a family environment built on honesty, music, and mutual respect. This stability allowed Willie to focus on health, creativity, and personal growth in ways he had never fully experienced before. Their relationship highlighted the significance of love, patience, and partnership in sustaining not just a career, but a meaningful life, proving that even in the midst of turmoil, connection can be a source of renewal. Aging and reinvention. Age never slowed Willie Nelson's curiosity or creative drive. Even in his later years, he continued to explore new musical styles, collaborate with artists across genres, and perform with vitality and passion. His willingness to evolve reflected a belief that life and art never has to stagnate. Reinvention became not just a professional choice, but a personal philosophy, illustrating that growth is a lifelong endeavor. Each new song, collaboration, or performance was a testament to resilience, adaptability, and the enduring power of curiosity. Willie's later work reinforces the idea that creativity doesn't diminish with age, but instead can deepen and expand, enriched by decades of experience and perspective. By continuing to experiment, perform, and connect, he demonstrated that staying engaged, open-minded, and fearless is the key to both longevity and fulfillment in any pursuit. Kris Kristofferson, a friend and guide. Among the many friendships in Willie's life, Kris Kristofferson was particularly significant. Their bond was forged through shared experiences, mutual understanding, and respect for each other's artistry. Kris's songwriting and wisdom often provided Willie with guidance and reassurance during difficult moments. Whether navigating personal challenges or career uncertainties, Kris's presence was a stabilizing influence, offering insight and encouragement without judgment. This friendship exemplified the profound role that trusted companions can play in sustaining both personal well-being and creative energy. For Willie, Kris wasn't merely a collaborator, he was a partner in resilience, someone whose understanding and support quietly reinforced his ability to endure, create, and continue moving forward even in the face of life's most difficult chapters. Reflection and legacy. Looking back, Willie Nelson's life is defined less by fame or accolades than by persistence, courage, and authenticity. His journey illustrates the power of music to heal, the significance of friendship, and the importance of staying true to oneself. Even now, as he continues to perform and create, Willie embodies a philosophy of endurance, curiosity, and connection. His legacy reminds us that survival, love, and artistry are inseparable, and that the courage to remain authentic in a world that often pressures conformity is its own triumph. Willie's story encourages others to embrace their own journeys with honesty, to value those who guide them, and to pursue authenticity above all else. In a world full of distractions and expectations, his life serves as an enduring lesson in resilience, creative integrity, and the power of human connection.